Happy Death Day to you. Happy Death Day to you. Happy Death Day, dear viewers. Happy Death Day to you. I'm gonna get you like a fish.
Howdy, y'all. Don't know what that was about, but welcome back, all you horror homies, to another entry for the Horror Homies 2025 series of videos. Today, we're going to talk about the Christopher Landon directed Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. So, Groundhog Day happens to be a classic comedic film starring Bill Murray. Well, these put a horror twist on that concept years before the Until Dawn Sony-produced film adaptation was released earlier in 2025. Jessica Rothe takes the place that would have been taken by Bill Murray had he starred in a horror film version of Groundhog Day. It all deals with her character having to come to terms with the fact that she's going to die at the end of each day and may end up having to repeat ad nauseum for eternity her same day of her death and the death itself. Things may change, but until she finds a resolution, her happy death day, which just so happens to be on her birthday, is going to continue. She decides to enlist some help in this first film and tries to get to the bottom of how she can escape this circle, this cycle of what seems to be never-ending death. Even to the point where, while she's trying to resolve this mystery, she just has fun with her deaths in some pretty interesting scenarios near the middle of the film, where we have what's basically a death montage for her. It's one of the funniest parts of the film, and Jessica really embraces the silliness alongside the horror in this first film. With the second film, Happy Death Day to You, Landon kind of adds a sci-fi element to the horror comedy that we got in the first film. Again, Tree, Jessica Roth's character, is faced potentially with a cycle of death yet again, but there's a stronger emphasis on trying to figure out what caused her to be in this situation, not just how to exit this ongoing cycle. To escape the baby-faced psycho pictured here that seems to be at the center of this mayhem and this murder. The supporting cast members that are featured somewhat in the original film, Happy Death Day, play a more prominent role in the sequel, Happy Death Day to You. There was very little time between the release of each of these films, and we are still, to this day, waiting on a third film. The second film did not perform as well as Blumhouse, as these were both Blumhouse films, expected it to, given the critical and audience scores as well as the income from the first film. So the third film has kind of been lost in limbo all these years. There was some hope that once Landon exited Scream 7, due to various circumstances, that Happy Death Day 3 would be a foregone conclusion. However, as of yet, we've not seen any script revealed yet, no release date, no sense of when a trailer could launch, of course, because of that. But Landon has assured us, as has Roth, that a third entry is incoming at some point. This is definitely one of my favorite horror comedy franchises. It spun off, not directly, but it inspired, rather I should say, another film, Freaky, starring Vince Vaughn, which I will talk about a little later on in this month. I didn't want to include it because it deserves its own chance in the spotlight, and it doesn't tie directly to these films. So again, it deserved its own little video. But if you're looking for something fun with your horror, then both films, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, will fulfill those needs. These are the Blu-ray editions. They have been released on 4K through Screen Factory. The Blu-ray includes an alternate ending, some deleted scenes, behind the mask, the many deaths of the tree, mini documentary, and talking about the worst birthday ever. And 2 includes unrated bonus features with a gag reel and a deleted scene, the never-ending birthday, Web of Love, Tree's Nightmare, and Multiverse 101. Yes, this is a horror film that deals a little bit with the multiverse, but before Everything Everywhere All at Once, and before the multiverse saga with Marvel. So, if you want to complain about the multiverse, don't blame Happy Death Day for prolonging it. At the end of the day, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications of future horror homies content and other content available on my channel. Stay healthy, stay safe, avoid your own Happy Death Day, and be well.